Umar, then Usman, and then Ali, Ridwanullah alayhim ajma'in. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said in a hadith that al-khalafatu ba'di salasuna sana, khalafat ala minhajin nabuwat, means that type of system which is in the light of the Seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, are based on Quran and Sunnah. That will be for 30 years. So we mentioned there that altogether the time of Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman and Ali Ridwanullah alayhim ajma'in, that is 29 and a half years. But for 6 months, Sayyidina Hassan radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he became the Khalifa. And later on, he handed over the Khilafat and the leadership to Sayyidina Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma. So it means that 30 years completed with the 6 months of Sayyidina Hassan radiyallahu ta'ala an. Now, in that very hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said that for 30 years, that will be Khalafat. And then after that, ثُمَّ تَكُونُ مُلْكًا عَاضًا أو مُلْكًا عَضُودًا. 2 words in 2 hadiths. ثُمَّ يَكُونُ مُلْكًا عَاضًا أو مُلْكًا عَضُودًا. So مُلْكًا عَاضًا means a biting kingship. What? A biting kingship. And mulkan adudan, a bitten kingship. Adudan means? A bitten kingship. So what it means? That biting kingship, so we'll be doing something wrong also. And adudan mean having some defects also. As you said that here is a breakage, here is a breakage, this is adud. Yes, like look? Yes. And here is another adud. So shortcomings. So anyhow, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in hadith, referring to the crawling baby Sayyidina Hassan radiyallahu ta'ala an, that inna ibni hadha yashbahuni fi khalqi, this son of mine in features have lot of resemblance with me. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that Allah will make a patch up through this gentleman in 2 fighting groups of my ummah. So in this hadith, number 1, both the groups are called the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Those who were on the side of Ali, those who were on the side of Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma. And another prophecy that this man will be the sabab and cause of that patch up. And he did it. He gave his pledge to Sayyidina Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and once again, the Islamic State or Islamic Khulafa was united. And that's why Hassan is called Imamul Wahda, the Imam of the unity of Ummah. Imamul Wahda, the Imam of the unity of Ummah. So who was Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala an? So he is related to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in lineage also, and through a marriage also. The lineage was going to give you the sketch, so you will find out that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam Ibn Abdullah Ibn Abdul Muttalib Ibn Hashim Ibn Abd Manaf Muhammad, son of Abdullah, son of Abdul Muttalib, son of Hashim, son of Abd Manaf, and Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan ibn Harb ibn Abd Shams ibn Abd Manaf. So Abd Manaf is the common grandfather of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala an. And Muawiyah's mom, she was Hind bint Utbah. Hind, the daughter of Utbah, the daughter of Rabi'a, the daughter of Abd Shams and Abd Manaf. Got it? So that was the lineage of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and of Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala an. Then his sister, from his mom he has only one sister. He did not have any brother or any sister. He had only one sister from Hind, and her name is Habiba. Who? Habiba. Raziyallahu anha. She is from As-Sabiqun Al-Awwalun in a sense. She was a Muslimah from the very beginning, and she migrated to Abyssinia with her husband. With her husband. But her husband, Ubaidullah ibn Jahash, he was converted to Christianity there in Ethiopia. And this noble lady, in young age, she was just like a widow, because she left him, that we came here for Islam, but it means that you are not a Muslim, you were cheating. Got it? Then she was there. And later on, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam proposed her. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam proposed her. She was in Abyssinia. And Negus, the king there, he made the nikah of Habiba with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She is the only woman. Otherwise, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was giving all of his wives 12.5 awqiyah of silver. Awqiyah is a weight. 12.5 awqiyah. But Habiba, as she was there in Abyssinia, and the king was doing her nikah to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like as the king was her wali, because nobody else was there in her relationship. So king was her wali. So he himself fixed her bridal money 4,000 dinars. And this noble lady distributed 4,000. 1 dinar is 10 gram gold. Yes, so a big bunch of gold. Because for king, it was looking bad to fix a little amount. Because kings are thinking of their status as well. Yes or not? Yes. As I told you the joke that one king, he was riding his horse along with his protocol. And there was a faqir. He was standing there in front of them. All people, they gave the path to the king, and that faqir and beggar, he was standing there. So, the king showed his anger to the beggar. Why you are standing here? He said, to ask you something. Yes. Give me 1 dirham. Give me 1 dirham. Yes. So the king said, I cannot give it to you. He said, why? So he said, because that is too below than my status. King are not to be asked for what? For 1 dirham. Yes, because I am king. And you are asking me for 1 dirham? You are putting me down by asking me 1 dirham. So the faqir was ajib. He said, okay, so just give me 50% of your kingship. Yes. If that is below your status, so give me 50% of your kingship. He said, I cannot give it to you. So he said, why not? He said, that is too high than your status. Yes. So anyhow, so Habiba, Raziyallahu ta'ala anha, she was the sister of Muawiyah, Raziyallahu ta'ala anh, and she was married to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and she was the lady when her father, after so many years, otherwise to Ethiopia, the Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, they went in third or fourth year, not after Hijrah, after Islam, they went from Mecca. And then Abu Sufyan, Raziyallahu ta'ala an, before the Fath Makkah, by a little bit, which was 7th year after Hijrah. So it means like 11, 12 years after, when he came to Medina, so he asked for the house of his daughter. Yes, so the houses of Ummahatul Mumineen were, yes, with the masjid like in line. So somebody told him, this is the house of Habiba. So he knocked at the door. Habiba opened the door. Oh, Baba, hi, how are you? After a long time, come on. He entered. He was not a Muslim at that time. Yes. So when she entered the house, so there was the Gorbacha of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam with the wall. Yes. What? The bed of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam on the ground. So as you know that a guest comes, so he goes straight to such like place. So he rushed to that. Yes, to sit there. So Habiba Raziyallahu ta'ala folded it and put it on his side. So Abu Sufyan got stunned. He said, a daughter? This type of disrespect for her father? He said that I don't worth of this, or it does not worth of me. You took it? Yes. So Habiba said, you don't worth of it. Because this is the sitting place of the messenger of Allah and you are a kafir. So that's why you cannot sit on such a thing where the messenger of Allah is sitting. And that was the case. Abu Sufyan said that it hit my heart. That this is not a case of politics and kingship. This is something else. Otherwise, I know the nature of my daughter. She was very obedient girl. But Iman is a different thing. Got it or not it?
Good.
Why you are stunned?
Good.
So, he had another brother from this mother, but he passed away somewhere. His name was Utbah. His tribe is known by the name of Banu Umayyah. In English, we called them Umayyads. Got it? Sayyidina Usman was from the same Banu Umayyah. This Umayyah between Harb and Abd Shams, there is Umayyah. I missed it. I was thinking that, where is Umayyah? Umayyah. Now it goes like this. Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan ibn Harb ibn Umayyah ibn Abd Shams ibn Abd Manaf, and Hind bint Utbah ibn Rabi'ah ibn Abd Shams ibn Abd Manaf. So this Umayyah was a trader and a businessman. He had 10 sons. And everyone was known in the field he was working therein. The father of Abu Sufyan, whose name is Harb, in battle of Fijar or Fujjar, he was the general of Quraysh. And the caravan, which was followed by Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when they were in Medina, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent them to catch it. So that caravan was led by Abu Sufyan. But when Sahaba arrived in the place, already they had gone from that point. So now Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was waiting for their return from Sham. So when the caravan was coming back, Abu Sufyan had a fear because he got the news that they came to catch us, but we got rid of. So now when we are going back, so for sure they will stop us. So he sent some guy, gave him some money, go to Mecca and ask for help, that we need a protection. So anyhow, but Abu Sufyan is known for that caravan, but actually the actual leader was his father-in-law and the father of Hind, whose name was Utbah. And because of that caravan, the battle of Badr later on happened. Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala an, he was born in Mecca 5 years before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam received the message. Before Nabuwwat, 5 years before. And he accepted Islam with his father in Fath Makkah, conquest of Makkah. But also there is another riwayah that he did not disclose himself, otherwise he had accepted Islam at the time of Hudaybiyah. And it is also narrated that when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was going out of Ihram in Hudaybiyah, so Sayyidah Muawiyah shaved his head. But he never disclosed his Islam before Fath Makkah. And as we mentioned before, that when Khuza'a, they complained to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that we are your allies, but we were attacked by our enemies Banu Bakr. And Banu Bakr were supported by Quraysh. Otherwise, based on the treaty of Hudaybiyah, they were bound not to help those who are attacking the allies of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but they did it. So that was a breakage of that pact. So now Abu Sufyan radiallahu ta'ala an, he was feeling the fear that now Muhammad will give us a lesson, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that's why he came to Mecca. As I referred to, that he went to Habiba radiallahu ta'ala anha. And later on, he came to Sayyidina Abu Bakr, that if you can intercede in this regard, that we don't want the treaty to be broken. A mistake we have done. We feel sorry for that. Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala told him, I cannot say anything in this regard. So he came to Umar. Umar radiallahu ta'ala an, also, he said, no, we cannot talk in this regard to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You did wrong. So he came to Ali. Ali radiallahu ta'ala was at home. They were cousins, so he came to his house. Welcomed him. Said, Ali, please. Sayyidah Fatima was sitting there. So Abu Sufyan said to Fatima, my niece, can you do something? She said, uncle, this is not a matter known for women. State to state business is not known for women. So Hassan radiallahu ta'ala was a young boy. He was like 7-8 years or so. He was there. So he said, Hassan, can you please intercede to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Right away, Fatima radiallahu ta'ala said that he is too little to get involved in such like businesses. So then he asked Ali radiallahu ta'ala an, what can I do? Ali said, nobody can talk to Prophet ﷺ in this regard. Yes, but you should go and request him if he will listen to you. So he came and he said, Ya Muhammad, we are ashamed of for what we have done. But we are here, we don't want to break it. Prophet ﷺ didn't answer him anything. So when he went back, so he told the people of Makkah that be ready, because we did wrong. So be ready. But when he saw the army of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abbas radiallahu ta'ala, as I told you the details, that at night he was roaming around riding the donkey of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Got it? So his name, the donkey name was Ufair. It was sent to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by Muqawqas, the king of Misr. And at that time, these high-rising donkeys were known for kings riding. Got it? So you can call it Mercedes of now times. Yes, at that time it was a Mercedes ride. Just like the Mercedes of 420. Yes. Naveed, where is 420? That is gone? Okay. So anyhow, and Abu Sufyan, he was also in the outskirts of Makkah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ordered his Sahaba to lit the fire in the whole desert. So 10,000 people were there. How many? 10,000 people were there. So these 10,000 people, at least let's say 50,000 fire were lit in the air. So that was a Qiyamah. So when Abu Sufyan saw it at night, so he said to one of his colleagues who were roaming around it, oh my God, who are these people? So they said, Khuza'a. The tribe I mentioned. So here Abbas was there in darkness. So he said, Abu Hanzala. Abu Sufyan's name was Abu Hanzala. Abu Hanzala, this is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. If you want to save your people, just come and request him. He said, can you please take me to him? Otherwise, the whole Meccan people will get crushed. This big army, we cannot stop it. So he said, okay, people will cut you in pieces. So just sit behind me. Yes, a big horse, a big donkey like horse. So when he was passing by people, so people were looking at the donkey, which was known donkey, that maybe Rasulullah, but when they, oh, this is Abbas, uncle. This is Assalamu alaikum. Ya Amma Rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But nobody looked at the guy who was sitting behind. Only Umar radiallahu anhu looked at him, that who is sitting behind. He said, oh, Abu Sufyan, the enemy of Allah. So he rushed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But Abbas said that I put the donkey on run. That before that he get a word from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I have to be the first one. So he entered a little bit before to the tent of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sayyidina Abbas, and said, Rasulullah, Abu Sufyan is sorry for what? Yes, and he is looking protection for his people. So he said, bring him here. And Sayyidina Umar, he entered, he said, this is the man who was leading every army against us. Ya Rasulullah, just allow me, I want to cut his head. Yes. So Sayyidina Abbas, he was a good friend of Abu Sufyan. So Abbas said, Ali. He said to Umar that, Umar, he is not from your tribe. That's why you are that sharp. Yes. He is from our close cousin, so that's why you are that swift. So Sayyidina Umar said, Abbas, this is not the case. He fought against us. We love people for Rasulullah, we hate people for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he said that how much respect I give you, Abbas, raziyallahu ta'ala an. Yes, I was not that much happy for the iman of my own father as I was happy for your iman. And that was why, because Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam became happy when you said La ilaha illallah. So Abbas said, but Umar, he is asking for mercy. So anyhow, at the time of the Iman of Muawiyah, he was a young man of 23 years. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam had for Quran 62 inscribers. How many? 62 official inscribers. Their duty was only Quran writing. And one of these 62 was Sayyidina Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Ibn Hajar has written in Al-Isaba fi Tamyiz al-Sahaba. Yes. So Ibn Hajar, he has written that Sayyidina Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala is narrating a hadith from Abu Bakr, from Umar, from Osman, and from his own sister Habiba. And from Muawiyah, there in the books of hadith are riwayat. Abdullah ibn Abbas took a hadith from him. Muawiyah ibn Khadij radiyallahu ta'ala an, and Abdullah ibn Zubair, they narrate from Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala an. Even Marwan ibn al-Hakam and Sa'id ibn Musayyib, the great tabi'i, they have narrated a hadith from Muawiyah. Now, Banu Umayyah, when they were enemies, so they were enemy. But when they accepted Islam, so after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when Abu Bakr was fighting the Murtaddeen, the apostate, so Umayyah did a great job with him. Even one army which Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu sent to Sham, so he gave the command to the brother of Muawiyah. His name is Yazid ibn Abi Sufyan. And not only that, later on Sayyidina Umar, he appointed this Yazid ibn Abi Sufyan as governor of Damascus. And the remaining part of Sham, the governor was Muawiyah, appointed by Umar. So one brother was the governor of Damascus and surrounding area. The remaining Sham was under the governorship of Muawiyah. But when this Yazid, the brother of Muawiyah, passed away, so then the Damascus governorship was also given to Muawiyah. And after Umar, Sayyidina Usman radiyallahu ta'ala anhu also kept him as governor there. Now Abu Sufyan, father Harb, he was the son of Umayyah. And the grandfather of Osman, As, he was the son of Umayyah. Osman ibn Affan ibn al-As ibn Umayyah. Osman ibn Affan ibn al-As ibn Umayyah. And Abu Sufyan ibn Harb ibn Umayyah. So it means that Abu Sufyan was the first cousin of the father of Osman. When Osman radiyallahu ta'ala was killed and Ali became Khalifa radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma, so now, as you know that when a new president take over and the governorship is by appointment, not by election, so then the new president, he is appointing his own people. Yes or not? So let's say like this, when a new president is elected in America, so he is putting his new secretaries or keeping the old secretaries? Say, the new secretaries. So now Ali radiyallahu ta'ala an, he was changing the governors. He asked them to resign. But Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala refused to resign. He said, first, the retribution of the killers of Usman radiyallahu ta'ala an. And this dispute started from this very point, that before my resignation, the retribution. And we gave you detail in the biography of Ali radiyallahu ta'ala an, that Muawiyah was right to ask for the retribution of Usman. But Ali said a few things. Number one, the fitna is still going on. And in fitna, if you are catching this one and that one and that one, they're just like putting oil on fire. Yes? He said, let me control the situation. Then we will go for number one. Number two, that was a big gathering, right? Who killed Usman? We need someone to testify. Got it? And he said that the only witness in this regard is Naila, the wife of Usman, radiyallahu ta'ala anha. And she says that I was upstairs. When I heard the noise, I came down. And until that time, Usman was dead, and these people were with covered mouth and they were going out. So I couldn't recognize any guy. So anyhow, and Sayyidina Ali told Muawiyah that you know how much efforts I made at that time. We gave you the detail. That how many times Sayyidina Ali talked to these people who were besieging Usman. And not only that, he and Zubair both, radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma, they asked permission of Khalifa that you are Khalifa. Yes. So please allow us, we can counter these people. So Sayyidina Usman says, I don't want to shed the blood of any Muslim. And I don't want to be a source of this fitna. Got it? So anyhow, then after that Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala an, he intended to fight Ali. So Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anhu sent Jarir ibn Abdullah Bajali radiyallahu ta'ala an to him to convince him to give me his pledge. Then together we will work on that. But when Jarir went there, so Muawiyah stopped him for a few days. And once again he asked Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anhu for retribution. When Jarir ibn Abdullah came back, he related the whole story to Sayyidina Ali. And then Ali brought out an army of 90,000 towards the Siffin. And Muawiyah brought an army of 50,000. Muawiyah's army, they approached Euphrates River first. So they stationed there. While the army of Ali, they were in a dry desert. Then Ali once again sent a message of unity. In Muharram year number 37 after Hijrah, they agreed on unity. But then, at night, after this treaty, it was not written, tomorrow has to write it down. So at night, some people, they shooted some arrows from Muawiyah's side and Ali's side, and then the same people from Ali's side to Muawiyah's side. So both of them, or both the groups, blamed one another that they broke the word. Did they? And actually, that was done by miscreants who didn't want any treaty between Ali and Muawiyah, radiyallahu ta'ala an. So in Safar, year number 37, the fight started. For 7 days, this fight was going in a way that here from some people like 3-4, they were coming out, challenging the other group. They were coming out 3-4, fighting one another. Then the next day, once again, the next day, once again. So then Ali said to his people, for how long we'll be fighting like this? So on 8th day, the combat start. And when from Ali's side, Ammar ibn Yasir got martyred, radiallahu ta'ala an. So now the army of Ali, radiallahu ta'ala an, they were fighting such wholeheartedly that they were very close to take over and to defeat them. But from the other side, as a strategy, they put the Mus'haf Sharif on their spears and they say, Bainana wa bainakum kitabullah. For how long we will be fighting? Let's decide accordingly in the light of Quran and Sunnah. So further details. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khairi khalqi.